we're living in a shaky economy right now. I don't know the last time I seen a person talking about retirement and was able to do retirement and ride off to the sunset. Like, seriously. And the reason why I bring that up is because I met a lady the other day, which is wild because she's retired. Now, her story seemed pretty good. And when I say pretty good, she was talking about that she's retired and she was doing something and she was traveling. And not only that, she was going somewhere with her son. I'm like, damn, that is what's up. And then, but this is crazy because that was yesterday. The day before yesterday, today is Thursday, so Wednesday. So yesterday was Wednesday. So I met her Wednesday. Tuesday, met another guy. He was retired. He came out of retirement. And it's crazy because we wasn't even talking about retirement. He just asked me, yo, how long you been with your company? And I was just telling them and how long I've been driving because I came from the computer field and I decided to change. And we were just talking and he was like, and then next thing you know, we just started talking. No, we was talking about 20 minutes. And he went in to let me know that he was retired. He traveled, all the places he traveled. So I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, damn, that sounds like fun. So I'm thinking to myself, damn, he must have got bored. No. What happened was, he said he ended up going through a divorce. Yo. He went through a divorce. And during that divorce, he ended up losing his house and his and he had to pay alimony. So I guess his wife must have been a stay-at-home, but he told me she wasn't stay-at-home. She just went for degrees that didn't pay as much, and they were something, I guess, to keep her busy. And the reason why I mention that is because just hearing two people back to back made me think about retirement. And I'm like, damn, this lady looked like she living her life. It looked like it. Nice looking lady too. Black lady, nice, and very nice and cool. Meeting him, he was a cool dude too. But it was some things in that story that also made me feel like, damn, I felt like I wanted to get teary-eyed. And I'm just sitting there listening to him like, and you could just see him talking. And then, that's why I say, man, you never know people's story. People's story is so different than how you think it is. And I was just like, damn, he did all that work for retirement. To come out of retirement and to go back to work like he working to retire again. Like, it started to feel like a joke. I don't know. It's weird, man. It seemed like... Now, I'm not trying to say that there's no benefits to retirement, but it just seeming like at this point in time, in this type of environment we're living in today, in this economy, it's starting to seem as if like retirement is a joke. Because it's a couple guys that actually retired that I know. Not personally like that, but I work with them. And they actually tried to come back to work. And I don't know if it's due to boredom or if it's due to the lack of funds or what's being paid out to them. I don't know. Like, we definitely live in an environment now where as though people are pushing so much of making money outside of work. And that's the sad part. You just can't go to work today. And that's probably why the retirement is starting to feel like a myth to most. Look, we're not going to play around. It's more people still working than there are retired people that's able to enjoy life and be able to prosper and take trips. You think I'm lying? Look around. You see more old people on the street living with their kids. And that's the sad part, man. People think that's not sad. It's sad. Because your kids should not have to have you in their household doing all these things, and they're trying to live their life, but now they have to live with making sure that you good. Look, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but you are not put here on earth just to sit up here and then now dedicate your life to your parents and everything after they raised you, and now you start taking care of them. I don't care what nobody tell you. That's not good living. Not good living at all. I'm sorry, it's not. And I remember my mom went through that. She tried to take care of my grandma. My grandma living with her. It lasted a month. A month. It might not even lasted a full month. It lasted a month. And what ended up happening was my mom had a reality check. All the things you talk about in life when it comes to living life, retiring, and thinking that you can just enjoy life, well, guess what? Enjoying life is not sitting around caring for someone just because it's your mom, your dad, whoever they are. People say, well, they gave me life. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this. They gave birth, and God gave you life. And what happens is you start to be embodied on thinking that, yo, you got to give your livelihood up. And you start to live through them. And that's not the way you're supposed to live. You can't live like that. You're not. That's not going to be an enjoyable life. You're going to be miserable. And you have seen people do that. Speak with people that are actually doing that. Not only speak with them, look at how they living. They don't get a chance to live. You want to be able to live out here. I don't care what nobody say. You're going to have people that say, well, what you supposed to do? Let your family just suffer? Look, man, leave them people alone. It come a time in life where it's though, people got to be able to experience life, and they got to be able to enjoy. And if you can't enjoy, what are you here for? You're not here for just to wake up every day, go to work, and then go back home, and then go back to work, going back home, and then go back to work. Like, those two things don't go together. You got to be able to live. Your job is not your life. You go to work to enjoy life so you can be able to prosper out here. Grow your family, be able to buy things, be able to treat yourself. You have to be able to accumulate things in life that make it more fulfilling. You ever see people that work? I remember seeing a lady. I don't know. I think this happened in Maryland. I don't know what her background was. I don't know what her drive was, but she ended up I'm not gonna say she was killed, but she ended up, I think, getting hit by a car or something like that. But kind of found out she's actually a millionaire. It was weird. When they showed the story, she had a couple mil in the bank and had a nice house in the upper part of Maryland. But this was weird. Still don't make sense. She was actually out on the street panhandling, but then going home in the evening. I guess this was her job, but she didn't. I don't know, man. It's weird, man. Some things you can't even fathom of what's going on out here. People living a different type of lifestyle. And it's starting to feel as if retirement is really a joke. And the reason why I bring all these things together is because retirement is really not just stop working. It's really about having a certain amount of money that's able to take care of you so you don't have to go out here and bust your ass at a job where it's really not benefiting you much anymore because you have enough money saved up, and also you have retirement that's paying out to you, and you're able to enjoy. You're able to get up every day, not sit around. Get up every day, go for a walk, go to the gym, take trips here and there, not trips every month, talk about here and there because at the end of the day, remember, your money has to last you. So you're still able to have a fulfillment in your life and make that life enjoyable. That's what retirement is about. I'm not near retirement, but I'm not far, far away, but I'm a nice amount away, like years away. And that is real retirement. If you really look at retirement, you look at somebody that's retired, most are not rich, but they have enough money that's set aside and money that's coming in from retirement that's able to give them a lifestyle whereas though they still able to maintain the life that they had while they were working. That's all it is. And it seems as though that's been taken away from a lot of people because if the finances are going up, meaning if your house is not paid off, that's one obstacle that you got to pay out to. That's taken away from your funds. And it's going to feel as though you're still working because you don't have your house paid. That's the biggest overhead, especially for retired people. So if you retired, it's good to have the nice car, but check this out. This is why you're seeing a lot of people coming out of the retirement. They're still buying things and living the same life as if they're working. And then it catches up after maybe a year or two. It don't take them a long time. It takes about at least a good 2 to 3 years for people to normally come out of retirement. Watch, pay attention, look it up. You will see it. You don't even have to read the stats and the statistics. That's a damn word on Fight Wednesday. Statistics. There we go. See, when you start thinking about it real quick, you're like, feel like you're catching T-Rex or something. Statistics. You don't have to look at the stats. Live real life. Live real life and watch and pay attention to the people that are actually retired. I remember running into a guy every morning. It's an area I used to do. I don't see him no more because I don't do the area. Black guy. And it felt good to see him every morning. And when I say it felt good, because dude looked good. And not just for his age, he looked good. You could tell. I don't know what he did in his life. I don't know if his life was comfortable. But I can tell you this. Whatever he did in his life, he looked like he enjoyed it. He pulled up. I'm going to tell you his car he has. He has an E-Class. I remember him every morning. He has a black E-Class Mercedes. He pulls up every morning, and this is at Dunkin' Donuts. Mind you, I'm at work. I'm grabbing a coffee. I walked into him maybe in the beginning. I see him maybe if I go to Dunkin' Donuts maybe 4 times out the week. I run into him at least twice. And he might have was there before me, but I ended up running into him at least twice. Well, eventually, of course, I seen him way more than twice. And eventually, I was like, hey, what's going on, man? We start speaking because we start seeing each other a lot. And he's like, hey, what's up, young fella? I said, what's going on, man? And next thing you know, start busting up every morning. And I already knew I ain't going to say I knew he was retired, but I kind of figured, you know what I mean? And we're just talking. And he was just, you could just tell, man, how comfortable he was. And I don't know his life, but just analyzing, it looked like most people. He did some right things, and he probably did some wrong things. I don't know. Never asked that, but I didn't care to, unless he decided to put that out there. But it looked like he enjoys doing what he does. It's a daily regimen. Some people look at that, well, what is that? He going to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. You know what that is? That's a regimen. That means his ass do not have to be up at 7 in the morning. You know why he's up in the morning? He has a regimen. It's something to do. Get out the house. And that's a thing. That's the thing that a lot of people are trapped. Why retirement is not a good thing for a lot of people and why a lot of people don't make it to retirement. They don't have a purpose. They don't still do things to build up for retirement is one thing. To build up for it, you're already looking forward to it because you already had plans to still do things and do activities. But another thing is to retirement that kills people is once they retire, they don't have any life. And that's where most die. If you don't have a purpose when you get up in the morning, you are going to slowly die off. We've seen it. People retire and end up dying damn near 2 to 3 years after retirement. It's crazy. And it's wild because you cannot have that drive to go to work, bust your butt, and then make it to the I don't want to call it the finish line, but you won the race. You won. But when you got your gold medal, your plaque, you didn't even bother to not even condition yourself and work out after the race. And that's what happens after retirement. Once you stop working, the race is not done. The workout is still staying consistent with life. And that's doing things. This is why retirement is no longer looked at as something to reach. It's either you didn't save enough money for retirement, so when you getting the payout for retirement, it's not going to add up to much because you didn't save any money separate from retirement. You didn't accumulate anything. You didn't buy anything that made you feel as though all the hard work that you did throughout life was beneficial to you. So if you have nothing and you're in an old age, you will end up working all your life to end up with no results. People live. That's all you got to do. Live. Live.